this game on Saturday, and after the game, we saw it on different clips, which I'm in favor of. But we saw Ryan Day embracing Matt Patricia. And Patricia saying something to the effect of,
I thought maybe it was Patricia embracing Day.
It could have been that too.
Who's the embracer? Who's the
That's a
embracee?
great God, bro.
Looked like Red showing up on that beach.
Yeah.
This feels like a poll question, but only for us. Who embraced who? Such a great moment, though, Bob. And I am obviously, look, you did bring the gold pants in today or not? You didn't bring them in?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I'm glad all those players got their gold pants. But I could not be happier for one person more than I am for Ryan Day getting this win and what it means to him. And he doesn't need my, obviously doesn't need,
You said the best part about getting the win was getting your approval. That off.
Do we have that on tape? Can you verify? Is that true?
Maybe.
Okay.
Nobody knows that he didn't say that.
By the way, I don't think it was lost on me last week, and I'm going to bring this up now. When Tress did the little clip thing about what the game was, what did he say?
Well, I asked him to send in something. I didn't give him any specifications around it. And so they cut that. I don't know if it was Boat. I think Tyler cut it for the short, but then when they put it in the compilation, that he referenced Anthony being there.
He was really glad to be on with Carpenter and Schlegels.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? And I'm not gonna get hung up on that any more than I already am. Disrespectful that he didn't mention Jeffrey Ice, but I look at that win though, Bob, and what it means. And not the day. Look, I know he didn't wear the flare robe. He didn't go out there and do all that stuff and strut around.
You know what's amazing? He kind of did the opposite of what you said.
I know.
We're going to go with class and humility.
I know.
So get your guys off the field. We're going to go celebrate in the stand. People always say, like, oh, I'll go flag plant. I go, you know what? You stand there and watch everybody file out. And I go, the other thing, someone goes, well, they should get him up the tunnel right away. I go, no, let them sit out there. I go, the people that come up, and whenever the band would travel, I go, that's a big deal to be able to go out there and celebrate with them. And, people that come on the road, they spend their time and money to go there. And they were there and they were loud. And you could hear it in the third and late in the third and fourth quarter when Michigan was on offense. It was loud in the stadium. I mean, people were actively cheering on third down that you could hear coming through. And it was awesome to see that. And so to watch those guys go hop up and celebrate with that's the thing that separates college from professional sports is you don't see that to that degree ever happen. It never happens like that in professional sports. And it was awesome to watch those guys connect with the students, the alumni, fans, everybody that's there that came up there to support them.
There are certain fan bases, the Steelers being one of them, that will travel really well for the team.
Yeah.
But it does, you're right, out of 32 NFL teams, there's maybe 2 or 3 that probably have that kind of thing. But it means so much more in this environment when it's Ohio State against Michigan than it does if Pittsburgh travels when they play the Raiders or the Chargers out west. If you go out to Vegas, when Pittsburgh plays Vegas, there's a lot of Steelers fans there. Yeah. Same thing out with they play the Chargers or the Rams. There's a huge number of Steelers fans. But those are meaningless. Those are not as meaningful regular season games. But you see this with Ohio State and Michigan. And I think about my buddy Buckeye Frank, who goes to all the road games. He hasn't missed a game in years. And he's out there, and I'm thinking, God, he's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on crowd-wise. And seeing Ohio State not dominate, but seeing Ohio State being so loud when Michigan fans are leaving the stadium is a wonderful thing. But as a player, you're on the field. Do you sense it?
Sense what?
Okay, if you're on the field at a road game, do you sense? Can
How
you
many
tell?
people are there? Yeah, you could see when you walk in, when you're warming up. They were showing it at the beginning. It's not, those guys aren't oblivious. It's not like you can't see into the crowd, and you can hear people cheer when things go well for you. I mean, you reference those people, you see them, you feel them there. Yes. I mean, there is a connectivity when you're on the road and you have a sense that, hey, there's a lot of people that made this trip.
I don't know, but Bob, when you're locked in as a player, though, does it?
I guarantee when they walked out for warm-ups, with the amount of Ohio State fans that were there early in the game when they did the top shot, and I was like, man, it looks like there's 10 to 15,000 Buckeye fans there, maybe even more. And it may have been up to 20. And you sense that. You feel it when you're going out there to warm up. And then you can hear them during the game. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I never do because some players say I block it out and we don't hear that, we don't see that or whatever. But
You can say whatever you want, but when you go out there for warm-ups and
Right.
you see something that's unexpected and the amount of scarlet you saw smatter throughout that stadium, like that was real.
And then the game gets underway, Bob. And yes, me, like a lot of Buckeye fans, I'm sure, were anxious, I wasn't nervous. I really thought, even though last year, Bob, I would say I was more confident in a Buckeye win than I was this year. Last year, I was more confident. Home game, double-digit favorite. I really felt great last year. More confident last year. This year, though, I felt a certain, God, a lot's got to go wrong for Ohio State to lose this game. And I had such a belief in this team, and specifically the way Ryan Day has coached since that Michigan game. The way the team is, the way they have executed game plans and the way they've focused since that loss last year, that I felt more, maybe not more confident, but more calm.
I think they're 16-0 since that game.
Yep.
They have 7 ranked wins.
Haven't played anybody yet.
Won a national championship, obviously, last year. Just beat Michigan this year. Getting a chance to go play for a Big Ten championship now. I mean, checking a lot of boxes. Since that time, since 1 year ago, they've been really stinking good. And they've been dominant when they've been playing everybody as well.
I'm going to ask you a question, Bob. That is a dumb question, which I never do. If Ohio State does not win the national championship, is this year a disappointment?
I don't know if I define it as a disappointment. A lot of it's how it looks and what happens during that time. I can't sit there and definitively tell you, how I'll feel about that prior to seeing kind of what happens. Do they lose next week and then lose in the first round? Do they make it to the national championship and lose a close game? Are there injuries? What happens along the way? There's a lot there that needs to be unpacked.
Okay, but you say an injury, I'm with you, Bob. I think the season's been great. And there are Buckeye fans, though, that have always said, or not always said, but recently said that, hey, I'd rather beat Michigan and not win the
Those
Natty.
people are fools.
Bobby, I am 100%
It's fine. And I'll tell. It's okay. People look at me and tell me that. I'm like, well, I've got a national championship ring and 3 pairs of gold pants. I trade one of the pants for another national championship ring right now.
And I'm trying to think then, Bob, you mentioned, who knows, maybe an injury happens. Who would have to get hurt for it to impact Ohio State's? Is Sane the only one? Or
No,
because
I don't even know
Keno's
if it
good.
is. I don't even know if it is Sane.
I'm saying, is there anybody else?
Julian's really good. The offense would look different with Lincoln, and you would want more of a you would obviously want more lead time to get him ready than less,
Right.
But
is there injury? If this guy's got, if they say this guy's hurt.
I don't know if on the defensive line. It's crazy to say this.
Yeah.
It would probably be someone on the defense, whether an Arvell Reese or really maybe
Caleb.
a Caden. No, I don't even know about that. I'd say Caden McDonald inside because I don't know if you have anybody that's equipped to be able to do what he does and how he impacts the game. And I know that it maybe isn't as visual as most people would like it to be, just because he plays the defensive tackle position, but I would say that might be the answer.
Yeah, I thought about that, Bob. I was thinking, is there anybody who, like we talked about the Florida State thing, they lose their quarterback, they get dropped out of the playoff a couple years ago. Is there somebody from Ohio State, if they got hurt, it could impact their chances dramatically of winning the Natty, or winning against Indiana or the Natty, either one? And I don't know if there's someone out there. I don't know if that exists, Bob, because of how deep this team is.
Well, they're deep everywhere except for maybe on the inside of the interior of the defensive line. They've gotten a little more depth there. They've developed guys throughout the season. But Caden McDonald's up for an Outland Trophy. There's a reason why that he's up for that. And you look at the guys up for the different awards and everything. Defensively, you've got what's Caleb up for? Is he a Thorpe?
I think it's Thorpe for Caleb, right? Is there another one too?
Gursky? I don't know. Arvell's up for a couple, and then Caden's up for the Outland. They've got some really, really talented players up there. And not that other guys aren't. It's always, what's the difference between you and the guy behind you? It's not how good you are. It's what that delta is, what the difference is right there. And that might be the biggest drop that you would find.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. So the game kicks off on Saturday, Bob, this past weekend. And was there something early on that happened that you just said, you know what, this is not going to end well for Michigan? Or just something happened, something you saw schematically or something happened within the game that you said, you know what, this is Ohio State's definitely a play or a series, or was something that stood out to you like, now I know this is going to end well for Ohio State?
I think just the way they're able to run. First of all, when Carnell Tate and J.J. Smith were both out there, I was like, they're going to be fine. And I figured J.J. would play. I thought Carnell would. I had to listen to a lot of people sit there and try to tell me that, that his injury wasn't that serious, and as if they knew about it. And then subsequently saying he's actually, he's opting out and he's not going to play and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, he went out there and had the biggest game of everybody. So it was great to listen to everybody get shut up about that and not have to listen to it. But really, it was when those two guys were out there. Because I'm like, they will make enough plays and they will make it uncomfortable enough for Michigan that they're not going to be able to stop it all. Like, that's just the function. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, Bob, I can't imagine them if people reached out to you either on social media or personally when they saw you maybe at Roosters or whatever doing your show and said, hey, I heard this. Is this true? I got questions about that too. Is it Tate's agent? Is that why he's not playing? Could he play?
People, he has
all
Rosenhaus.
Yes.
They're saying, Jackson had Rosenhaus. I'm like, Hartline also. That was Hartline's agent was Drew Rosenhaus.
Oh, was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I know.
Exactly, because no one, I know more. I don't, I'm not here to tell everybody everything in the world, but I was like, and I don't know things to be a certainty, but I probably have the most information that anybody's going to find outside of people telling me they're hearing stuff. Heard they work at the medical center and they heard doctors talking. I'm like, first of all, none of the players go over to the hospital, okay, unless they suffered a Mark Sanchez lung puncture from a
Just
shaking.
happy to be alive, amigo.
Yeah, exactly. But they're going to the sports med building. Like, they're talking to the doctors. I could have told. I couldn't have said for certainty whether Carnell was going to play. But I'm like, if he can, I know that he will. And the fact that he went out there and had that game with some people, throwing shade and saying that nonsense, it made me feel really good. That when both of those guys were active and up, I'm like, regardless what happens, you're really just one play away from a touchdown. And that bore out twice during the game where you were one play away from a touchdown. And whether you're on the 40-yard line, 30-yard line, coming in, going out, doesn't matter. Those guys can get on top of people in a hurry. And then once they started really running the ball, they ran the ball pretty effectively all game. And once they're able to do that, I was like, this defense is going to take over. Probably when they stopped Michigan for the second time and held them to 3, I'm like, okay, they had 2 good chances of getting touchdowns, and they got 6. Combined, not 14, 6. And in that game, Tress always said, he's like, field goals get you beat, touchdowns win you games. And you got to take points when you can get them, but if you get down there, you've got to score.
You've got all these connections, and we can't get Mutis on our show. I'm sorry, Brutus. I said Mutis. I meant Brutus. We can't get Brutus on our show. But, Bob, if you look at this.
He didn't talk. He didn't tell me much.
I understand that. But, Bob, so, yeah, when I looked at this game, I was looking at, you're right, the field goal thing. When Michigan had a chance to get touchdowns, and they got field goals instead, certainly was a big role in all of this. And it seemed to me, I had a lot of the same feelings, Bob, that I had last year during the Indiana game, where it's like, it's Michigan's going to play to not get destroyed. Michigan didn't want to lose 50-0.
I think they thought, really, that they'd be able to come in and do what they did last year.
Really?
Yeah, I truly believe that.
Do you think anybody outside of Michigan, outside of the team, do you think anybody, like, looking at national media, I'm not saying Portnoy, don't say Portnoy because that doesn't count. And don't say Desmond Howard because that doesn't count, or Mark May, or Lou Holtz. No offense, Bodie. But do you think anybody else
How
really...
about Charles Woodson?
Charles Wood, that's fine. That also. But do you think anybody who had a unbiased bone in their body could have seen Michigan competing with this team?
I don't think anyone would have said that last year. I think the difference in the teams last year was bigger. It's just where Michigan was really good is where Ohio State was struggling. And then the wind and, Will getting hit, like just all those things kind of together. I don't think he played his best game from that. So there was just a lot that obviously went into that. And so last year I felt supremely confident with all of it. This year I felt good, but maybe not quite as good with all of it. But I felt like that you'd be able to run the football on them, and that's what they did. I think they thought really that Michigan would come in there and play bully ball with them.
Have you been around the team since I got back or not?
No.
Okay.
I didn't go over there yesterday.
Right.
My family's all sick. They're all throwing up at the house.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Everybody? Like all the kids?
Except for me and McLean.
Wow. My favorite carpenter's sick?
That's when I say everybody.
I know. I just want to make sure.
That implies everybody.
I got you. That's too bad. I don't think it was thrown at our house. Anyway, but Bob, yes, I'm curious what it will be like the next time you walk into the building. Because I said, Bob, the other day that it's...
it'll be business in there. That's what it's going to be. They're going to walk in there, and it's going to be business. They're preparing to go win a Big Ten championship, man.
I know.
What do you think? They go in there, it's going to be some sort of 3-day rave party?
I'm not saying a 3-day, maybe a 1-day. I would be fine with a 1-day rave party, though, Bob, but I know.
These guys want to go win another one, man. And they were happy to do it. They celebrated, sat on the plane. I guarantee you once they landed, hey, we're back to business again.
They were on there for a long time, from what I hear, too, right?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's the one negative thing about flying.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Tell the pilot to take off.
Just go. We're going to be fine.
Do your job.
Exactly.
Get us up. We'll come. I promise you, we'll come down.
We'll come down at some point. That's right, Bob. I don't know if that's what I want the pilot to say, but okay.
Take off, and I trust that you'll. I always tell you, I trust that the pilot wants to die less than me, and he's going to have a front row seat at watching that thing, so he's going to get us down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to crash.
Put
right?
your gear on.
Put your gear on. That's exactly right. Big win for Ohio State. God, I'm so happy. I am happy for my dad. I know, Bob, that you've got personal relationships with players and coaches. So there's other things I'm sure they're playing. But like for me, the first thing I thought about when that clock hit 0 was, this is so damn good for Dave. But there's a lot of guys on that team that I know.
Oh, everybody. All the those guys deserve it. But deserving ain't got nothing to do with it. So you got to go out there and you got to win. And that's what they did.